Looking outside our studio for the moment, we do have a nice clear sky. The weather has been great all day, and the wind has been light, but that is going to gradually be changing as we go into, let's say, our Friday, where the wind could be strong into the first half of your weekend. We're at 53 degrees right now, 52 for Bottineau, 50 for Rugby, Stanley at 54, and all of us, our wind is light. 50 for Harvey as well, and this is where we should be for early April. So things are looking good for now. Even some 70s across Montana, Williston at 64, and even some 50s into the Red River Valley. So we are looking good at home, but across the east, thankfully, the severe weather threat, not an issue for the moment. Much of that has diminished, but we still have a few thunderstorms in parts of Virginia, rain and snow into the New England states, and notice that wraparound moisture bringing some heavy snow to the Great Lakes region and even impacting the Windy City. High pressure is keeping our atmosphere at bay, but as the warm front pushes closer, that is going to gradually increase our temperatures, but at the same time, low pressure with high pressure close together also going to increase our wind. So really nothing to worry about for the next 24 hours, just a little bit on the cooler, chilly side for tomorrow morning. Still sunny as we go into the afternoon. Light wind across central and eastern North Dakota, but if you head toward the Highway 85 corridor, they're already going to feel a little bit of wind. If you head west, that's where they could have some 30-mile-per-hour gusts. And the reason for that, as I mentioned, we're going to be between that high and low pressure. And in between, when we get the tight pressure gradients, the lines you see here, when they're close together, that is when we tend to get our stronger winds across the region. And that's going to also play a factor into the weekend. Not expecting much across northern North Dakota, at least not until Sunday. But notice on Saturday, rain showers likely along and south of the interstate. But Sunday, we could get a few showers across the Magic City. Not expecting it to be a washout or any reason to cancel plans, but still a few showers are possible across north central North Dakota for Sunday. Looking at the wind, we are going to feel a bit of a breeze from Montreal into Burke counties for tomorrow evening, and then we start to feel the wind really pick up during the late evening hours in Minot and into Friday morning. You'll notice all of us dealing with gusts at least 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's going to be for the second half of your Friday and Saturday as well. So it's going to be a bit on the windy side, but thankfully still mild. Slight chance of showers on Sunday as well as Monday, but could be a little bit chillier at times. But don't worry, we'll be back in the 60s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week with morning lows slightly above freezing.
All right, thank you so much for that, Henry.